Welcome back. More than 1,000 cyclists from all over the country will head to the historic LBJ Ranch in Stonewall this weekend. They'll use the ranch as a launch point for the LBJ 100 bicycle tour, spreading out over miles of the Central Texas roadways. And joining us today is Russ Whitlock. He's the superintendent of the LBJ National Historical Park to talk about this year's event. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I know this is a ride to preserve history is what they call it. Kind of explain what that means.
You know, Brian, the National Park Service never has enough money, and of course sequestration's all out there and we hear about it, but this, our Friends group, is a public-private partnership combination, and every dollar of what they raise on the LBJ 100 goes directly right back into the National Park in Austin's backyard. So we love people being there helping us.
How has sequestration affected you guys, or do you know yet?
Yeah, we lost $193,000 out of our budget.
Is that right? But
our Friends group in the last 5 years has raised almost $400,000 to help us. So that's powerful and important.
And obviously this fundraising bike event could go a long way in helping efforts. Let's talk about the bike event, because I know there's different distances that people can travel, and talk about the ride a little bit.
The nice thing about it is it's not a competitive race. You'll see actually kids there on tricycles, as well as the very competitive, you know, multi-$1,000 bicycles. You can go from 10 miles to 85 miles, so there's something for everybody. The antique wheelman will be there this year, riding those bikes. Strawberry Jam is going to be entertaining in the food tent. Lots of good food at the end of it, and beer, because you got to replenish yourself.
Of course. And so there's a lot of entertainment along the way, and I think that there's a guided tour of sorts as well. Is that right?
In the afternoon, Lucy takes anybody that's interested on a short bike ride around the ranch, and she shares her recollections of growing up and being out there and the things that happened in the 60s.
Talk about the history of the ranch a little bit, and kind of what's out there, what people can expect to see.
Well, the ranch really allows us to take a walk back in history, to see where the world actually came to the hill country in the 60s. The President and Mrs. Johnson always said, all the world is welcome here, and they demonstrated that with hundreds of head of state barbecues, and you never came to the ranch that you didn't get in one of those convertible Lincolns and take a tour, and we let the public do it in their cars today. And
it should be extra beautiful, I hope, this weekend. We just got a nice little dose of rain. That might help things.
The bluebonnets are starting to peak nicely, and the fields ought to green up well from this rain.
And nice rolling hills to travel through as well.
Most of the ride is just nice up and down rolling terrain.
And it's for all experiences, bicycle, tricycle, even the antiques, as you mentioned, will be out there.
That's right.
And thank you so much for being here. Best of luck with the event. The LBJ 100 Bicycle Tour, again, is this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, there's a time trial, I think, for the first time this year.
That's Sunday morning, yes.
Sunday morning, there's a time trial event. That's brand new. Riders in the annual LBJ 100, as we mentioned, will get that guided tour from park rangers and from Lucy Baines Johnson as well. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.